Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
A lot of money in just the last hour or so coming back into the market cap here. We're off by 0.71 this morning. We see Bitcoin 42,500 plus, Ethereum is 2,900 plus, and at the number 6 spot still it's XRP at 80 cents. Let's take a look at the range of price really quickly here. We see this. Well, maybe we see this. Here we go. Ta-da! Thank you, Fiat Link. 78 cents on the bottom and 83 on the top. Let's get into the news, ladies and gentlemen. Right here, the Super Bowl last night, and it looks like the LA Rams won. Shout out to them. Yeah, and it says, here's the scoreboard from Cointelegraph. If you didn't get to see all the ads, or you're talking with friends and missed it, or just didn't watch, we know that we had FTX, eToro, Crypto.com, and Coinbase debut their crypto ads. And Coinbase, although I thought it was a pretty horrible ad, apparently had a great response. Coinbase, one of the most popular crypto exchanges in the United States, often taking the #1 spot for being the most downloadable app in the App Store, what appears to be a part of the company's ongoing Let's Talk More Bitcoin campaign. Coinbase released a minimalistic commercial basically bouncing around the letter C and a QR code in hopes that you would scan it, and if you did, they were giving away $15 worth of Bitcoin to anyone who joins. In the process of that, and the other ads were there too, obviously, like I said, FTX, eToro, and Crypto.com, right? Now, so that was the Crypto Bowl. Now, I thought the commercials, some of them were good, some of them were bad. I thought the FTX with Larry David was really funny. He played a guy who everything he was talking about, all these different inventions that came along, he was saying they were horrible ideas. And then the last thing being crypto, and he was like, don't do it, you know. But obviously, you know, it was sarcasm the way it was set up and satire. But nevertheless, take a look here, because when I was watching the Crypto Bowl commercials and all of the things that I was witnessing as I'm watching the game, I have to tell you, Link2 came to mind very strongly, and they laid it out here. You know, during the game, we saw Whoop, which was given to all NFL Players Association, provided to all active players, which is on Link2's platform. Then we know Coinbase had an ad, which was previously on Link2's platform for $32 a share before it IPO'd at $400 plus. And then we see, well, Ripple, we didn't see Ripple, but nevertheless, Ripple's on there, and you don't have much left of it. It's about sold out. If you're going to get it, you better. And then we saw SoFi, which was on the platform before as well. And I was like, wow, this is like Crypto Bowl is the Link2 Bowl, because most of these products and BitPay are on the Link2 platform or have been on the Link2 platform. This is why I tell you about private equity made simple by Link2.com. Go check and see if you're accredited. Most people are and don't even realize that they are. So make sure you check it out. Anyway, through all of this minimalistic advertising, the App Store says, and the block research shows that Coinbase app surged from 186th place to 2nd place on the App Store. And as you can imagine, in true fashion, Coinbase crashed. You can't really make it up, can you? I mean, Coinbase is good at that. They do that. But here's a look at the top 10 coins by alt rank over the last 24 hours. And number 1 is, you guessed it, XRP. How about that? We're number one with the United States Securities Exchange Commission lawsuit sitting over our head. Which, by the way, there are no criminal or fraud charges involved in. It is simply a civil matter with the SEC about whether they believe they either registered or weren't registered, and we believe, obviously, the SEC certainly believes they have an unregistered security, and we do not. We will see how that unfolds, and we're going to touch on that latest news in the case in just 1 second. But I wanted to remind you of this from the end of last week and over the weekend here, because I think ProCoin News has this right. You should follow them. I can't believe this isn't getting more attention than it is. It's a huge story, and it absolutely is. Ripple lands a partnership with the Digital Euro Association, which in fact is a think tank for helping all of the 27 nations involved in the European Union here on how to develop and launch a central bank digital currency. Don't believe it, it's still true. This is pretty remarkable here, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it. Think about what we already know. I put this diagram together for you, and this is why I said, oh, look, and Ripple's back on the board and linked to, and I bet it doesn't last long because there isn't much of it left now. It'll probably be sold out today. 27 nations in the European Union and the Digital Euro Association picks up Ripple. We already know that we're on the Digital Pound Foundation and working with Central Bank of Bhutan and Palau. I don't think it's that much longer because we all already understand 2017 huge relationship with Ripple and the Federal Reserve Faster Payments Task Force. What do we know? Executive order to be coming out, and obviously the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Treasury are going to have something to say and a huge contribution about stable coins and crypto, because in fact people see that as money. Right? So that's the agencies you're going to hear from. Bahrain Central Bank completes cross-border transfer test using JP Morgan blockchain and the coin. Take a look here. It says right here, Bahrain Central Bank recently said it piloted its first cross-border funds transfer using the JP Morgan blockchain. The transfer, which was carried out in a partnership with Bank ABC, is the latest step taken by the CBB as it prepares to launch its digital currency. In his comments from the following latest test, CBB governor says, it quoted by Unlock Media lauding the central bank's ongoing tests. We at the Central Bank of Bahrain are extremely pleased to announce the success of the test, which aligns our vision and strategy to continually develop and enrich the capabilities extended to stakeholders within our financial services sector in the kingdom using advanced, leading emerging technologies. That's what we're talking about here. And it says right here, Central Bank of Bahrain, working in a partnership with ABC, recently announced that it successfully tested and transfer of funds across borders using JP Morgan's JPM coin. We will keep you posted. I like it because if we're to understand this to be competition, bring it on. That's what I say. Bring it on. DBS plans to launch retail digital asset trading desk by end of this year. They're talking about services applied to cryptocurrencies hosted on digital exchange, Bitcoin, Ether, Bitcoin Cash, and XRP. And to no surprise, because Piyush Gupta was a speaker at the 2019 Swell event, and I think even the last year's event as well, I think, or the year before. But nevertheless, this is coming on pretty quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Things are moving regardless of what feels like a quagmire here in the United States. So we'll keep a lookout for that. And there's really not much more to give you other than that. That is, they do plan estimates that it will be operational by the end of this year. Let's keep moving. Switzerland's largest bank, UBS, expects the United States Congress to take a long time to pass cryptocurrency legislation despite mounting interest in crypto investments and regulators calling for Congress to weigh in on crypto legislation. Well, I remind you that we just had the Crypto Bowl, for which all of these exchanges that are participating in the United States just got the biggest shot of life to the masses about cryptocurrency and where you can get them. So there's going to be something coming, and I'm not pushing back too hard. Obviously, the United States government is lagging here, but I don't believe that it's exactly 100% unintentional. They know they have to get this right. You don't want to get this wrong. I can't believe I'm even saying that, and it sounds like I'm in defense of the government and I'm taking so long. But what I firmly believe here is this: the Swiss Bank's Office Public Policy explained that at a hearing, a senior Treasury official discussed recommendations made in stablecoins report issued by the Department of Treasury and other regulators to fill in regulatory gaps addressed by financial stability concerns. Ladies and gentlemen, there's your language. And this is what I've been saying for 2 years or more about FSOC, the United States Treasury, and the financial stability of the market infrastructure of our payment systems and our markets. This is what we're talking about, and this, I believe, is why you're going to see the Treasury take the lead here. I believe Congress will put legislation out after we see the first foot go forward, which will be the Treasury and the respective agencies. Take a look here. Digital Pound Foundation says, brilliant quote from the IMF on the future of money here. They're talking about Kristalina Georgieva from the IMF, who says central banks are rolling up their sleeves and familiarizing themselves with the bits and the bytes of digital money. And, you know, that's why I come back to this right here, which is, the Digital Euro Association, the Digital Pound Foundation, Central Bank of Bhutan, the Republic of Palau, so on and so on. I don't think it's long before we find out, not that they make a decision, but before we find out in full disclosure that the U.S. is working with Ripple. I really do believe that. Now, let's get on to this, because I want to discuss this, and it is this case here is what we're talking about. It is Judge Annalisa Torres has ordered two warring factions, the SEC and Ripple, to unseal documents that can make or break the case. February 17th will make or break the Ripple versus SEC case, they are saying in this article. I just want to remind you, first of all, we're 3 days from that date, but we also have a motion to the 24th. We'll get to it in just a second here. But what we're talking about has ordered the two warring factions of the SEC and Ripple to unseal the documents. The sealed documents will finally reveal who has been lying in court between the SEC and Ripple regarding whether the latter knew it was selling a security. We have already heard Stuart Alderati, legal defense team counsel for Ripple, come forward and clearly say that they will reveal in those papers that Ripple has to turn over and reveal that those documents will say that they had outside litigation say that XRP was not a security. Now, Ripple's also, in the earlier days, full disclosure, have worked and fought to not reveal those documents because they said there's other information in those documents that would compromise their business strategy. So that could be quite interesting as well if we get to see that as well. So here we see from James K. Filer, shout out to you, my friend, motions for extension is granted. The SEC shall file its response to defendant's letter motion on February 24th. At the time, the SEC is further ordered to email the chambers the challenged Estabrook notes for in-camera review, which, if I'm following this correctly, really means the notes that were taken where Brad Garlinghouse testified in his testimony that Elad Roisman had said to him he was sorry he had to come in here, obviously acknowledging he didn't believe that XRP was a security either. And these were all captured in the notes at the time of that meeting. So we will see what comes out of that, if anything. So head on a swivel, people. There could be a lot to come from this, and there could be a lot to come from this. I firmly believe that there will be massive fundamental events that are the catalyst for the potential, as Crypto Bull talks about here when he says, looks like depending on when XRP breaks out of this wedge, the final price for this bull run is between $16 and $37. Holy moly. I believe that, something like a settlement in the case, or whether it's dropped, and I hope that it's not, or some other evidence that comes out that really determines the path in this case, or the executive order, which may have the Treasury writing and drafting rules and legislation for, not legislation, but rules and regulation for the market agencies, the SEC and CFTC, so this market can take off. And then Congress will have even more time.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.